Hello students, this is the second part of the second unit data link layer and media access from the subject computer networks. Myself Ansi John J. Here we are discussing data link layer protocols. So as we all know, data link layer is responsible for establishing a connection between sender and receiver and for transmitting the packets to receiver. There are four protocols: simple protocol, stop and wait protocol, go back and selective repeat. First we see about the simple protocol. The data link layer at the sender gets a packet from its network layer, makes a frame out of it and sends the frame. The data link layer at the receiver receives a frame from the link and extracts the packet from the frame and delivers the packet to its network layer. The data link layers of the sender and receiver provide transmission services for their network layers. This one is the flow diagram for simple protocol. There are two nodes, sending node and receiving node. The network layer of sending node gives packet of data to data link layer. Data link layer converts this packet into frames by adding some headers and after establishing a logical connection with the data link layer of receiving node, the frame is sent to receiving node. The data link layer receives the frames and gives it to the network layer. The network layer extracts the packet from the frames. Next protocol is the stop and wait protocol. Here the sending node sends the frame and waits for an acknowledgement. After getting the acknowledgement, it transmits the next frame to the receiver. In this protocol, the sender sends one frame at a time and waits for an acknowledgement before sending the next one. Every time the sender sends a frame, it starts a timer. If an acknowledgement arrives before the timer expires, the timer is stopped and the sender sends the next frame. If the acknowledgement doesn't arrive, means it has to resend the packet. If the timer expires, the sender resends the previous frame, assuming that the frame was either lost or corrupted. This means that the sender needs to keep a copy of the frame until its acknowledgement arrives. When the corresponding acknowledgement arrives, the sender discards the copy and sends the next frame if it is ready. To detect corrupted frames, we need to add a CRC to each data frame. When a frame arrives at the receiver side, it is checked. If its CRC is correct, the frame is corrupted and silently discarded. Silence of the receiver is a signal for the sender that a frame was either corrupted or lost. This is the flow diagram of stop and wait protocol. Here we have a sending node and receiving node. In the sending node, the network layer gives the packet of data to be sent to the data link layer. The data link layer converts the packet into a frame and starts the timer and sends the frame to the data link layer of receiving node. The receiving node, after receiving the packet, receiving the frame, it is given to the network layer as packet, and the acknowledgement is given back to the data link layer. When the acknowledgement reaches the sending node, the timer will be stopped. So here we can see the first packet is given to the data link layer, and it is transmitted to the data link layer of receiving node as frame. From there it is retrieved as packet to the network layer, and acknowledgement is sent to the data link layer of sending node, and the timer was stopped. The network layer sends the next packet to the data link layer of sending node, and the data link layer is forwarding the frame, but it was lost in between. So after the timer expires, it doesn't receive the acknowledgement. So the sender has to identify that particular packet has been lost. So again the packet will be resent to the receiving node. Next is piggybacking. The two protocols, simple and stop and wait, are designed for unidirectional communication in which data is flowing only in one direction, although the acknowledgement may travel in the other direction. Protocols have been designed in the past to allow data to flow in both directions. However, to make the communication more efficient, the data in one direction is piggybacked with the acknowledgement in the other direction. In other words, when node A is sending data to node B, node A also acknowledges the data received from node B. Next is go back and ARQ. In go back and ARQ method, both sender and receiver maintain a window. That is, sender has a window and receiver has a window. So for each frame to be sent, the sender will set a timer for each frame. Then here from the figure, it is first setting a timer for the frame 0, and it is sending the frame to receiver. The sender continuously sets the timer for the continuous frames and sending the frames continuously to the receiver. The receiver, after receiving the frame, sends acknowledgement continuously to the sender. So from the figure, we can identify that the acknowledgement of second frame was lost. So after sending all the frames in the window, the sender checks whether all the acknowledgements have received. So then only it identifies that acknowledgement of the frame 2 was not yet received. So it will start resending the packet from frame 2 till the end of the window. The sending window size enables the sender to send multiple frames without receiving the acknowledgement of the previous ones. The receiving window enables the receiver to receive multiple frames and acknowledge them. The receiver keeps track of the incoming frame sequence number. When the sender sends all the frames in the window, it checks up to what sequence number it has received positive acknowledgement. If all the frames are positively acknowledged, the sender sends next set of frames. If sender finds that it has received a no acknowledgement or that is NACK, or has not received any acknowledgement for a particular frame, it retransmits all the frames, after which it does not receive any positive acknowledgement. Next is selective repeat ARQ. Here also the sender has a window and receiver has a window. The sender is setting time for each frames to be sent, and the frames will be forwarded to receiver. The receiver also sending acknowledgements after receiving the frames. After sending all the frames in a particular window, the sender checks whether all the acknowledgement have received or not. If here in this figure acknowledgement 2 was lost, that is acknowledgement for frame 2 was lost. So the sender resends only the frame 2 to the receiver. In selective repeat ARQ, the receiver, while keeping track of sequence numbers, buffers the frames in memory and sends no acknowledgement for only frame which is missing or damaged. The sender in this case sends only packet for which NACK is received. Next is high-level data link control, that is HDLC. Is a bit-oriented protocol for communication over point-to-point and multi-point links. It implements the stop and wait protocol. HDLC provides two common transfer modes, that is normal response mode and asynchronous balanced mode. In normal response mode, the station configuration is unbalanced. We have one primary station and multiple secondary stations. A primary station can send commands, a secondary station can only respond. In the normal response mode is used for both point-to-point and multi-point links. Here there is a pictorial representation of both point-to-point links and multi-point links. In point-to-point link there will be primary device and the secondary device, and in primary multi-point there will be a single primary device and multiple secondary devices. In asynchronous balanced mode, the configuration is balanced. The link is point-to-point and each station can function as a primary and secondary. Next is framing, that is HDLC defines three types of frames: information frame, supervisory frame, unnumbered frame. Okay, so each frame it starts with a flag bit and ends with a flag bit. In between you have the address, that is the destination address. Some control bits will be there. Then if it is iframe, you have the user information. Then frame check sequence. Then in S frame you have some control information. Then U frame is meant for transferring management information. Here is the explanation for the control field of three types of frames, that is I frame, S frame and U frame. If a frame starts with the bit 0, it is I frame, and if it is starts with first bit is 1 and second bit is 0, means it is S frame, and if it starts with first bit 1 and second bit 1, means it is U frame. N of S, that is 3 bits are allotted for N of S, that defines the sequence number of the frame. Then N of R correspond to the acknowledgement number when piggybacking is used. Iframes are designed to carry user data from the network layer. In addition, they can include flow and error control information. The subfields in the control field are used to define these functions. The single bit between N of S and N of R is called P by F bit. The P by F bit is a single bit with dual purpose. It has meaning only when it is set bit is equal to 1 and can mean pole or final. It means pole when the frame is sent by a primary station to a secondary. It means final when the frame is sent by a secondary to a primary. Control field for S frames. Supervisory frames are used for flow and error control whenever piggybacking is either impossible or inappropriate. S frames do not have information fields. If the first two bits of the control field are 1, 0, this means the frame is an S frame. The last three bits called N of R correspond to the acknowledgement number ACK or negative acknowledgement number NAK, depending on the type of S frame. The two bits called code are used to define the type of S frame itself. Next, we are going to see about the control field for U frames or unnumbered frames. Unnumbered frames are used to exchange session management and control information between connected devices. Unlike S frames, U frames contain an information field, but one used for system management information, not user data. As with S frames, however, much of the information carried by U frames is contained in codes included in the control field. U frame codes are divided into two sections, a 2-bit prefix before the P by F bit and 3-bit suffix after the P by F bit. Together, these two segments can be used to create up to 32 different types of U frames. Here we have the part B questions that covers the entire topic explained in the slide. Thank you.